Jolie Gabrielle here, and I'd like to thank you again for joining me for this deep dive meditation moment. Before I meditate, sometimes I like to really get clear about what it is that I'm doing. I've cleaned the chakras out for a really long time, which was so effective for me in even allowing me to be comfortable in my body. Now you're probably asking, what are the laws of the universe and how do they relate to the chakras? So I'll let you know. Now, the laws of the universe, some say there's 7 major, and that would align with the chakras. There's also, I've seen 9, I've seen 12, I've seen 33. But for the sake of this video, we will be sticking with 7, and then I'll read you the other 12 or 5 that go with it. So the laws of the universe, you've probably heard of this one because everybody wants to attract in good stuff. The law of attraction. The law of polarity being opposites, right? And hopefully we can bridge that gap through meditation. We also have rhythm, a rhythm of flow. Flowing with the universe is such a beautiful way to live life when you are left to your own devices that are positive, right? But we are really not allowed to create our own rhythm. We're given a rhythm and then we kind of have an accompaniment. I don't know about you, but I am into wanting to create my own full symphony and rhythm. Think about that. Chakras, your energy, your body, how does it work? How do you take ownership over it? There are tons of YouTube videos and me here talking to you about it because when I was working I had great jobs. I couldn't deal with it. I just didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was going. Everyone else was telling me what to do with my life and what I should be doing, to the point where I was just like, what am I here for? I had no grounding in myself. I didn't like being in my body, even to this day, because I have the habit of leaving my body. I must ground each and every day. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? And the law of cause and effect, basically action, reaction. Then we have gender, the law of gender, which is not necessarily dealing with some of the stuff that is out there in pop culture as much as you knowing that you have masculine and female energy and being able to balance those to move forward. And then also the transmutation of energy. How do you move from a space of anger, frustration, into peace and calm? How do you go from lack and limitation to abundance and prosperity? Transmutation of energy. How do you move out the toxins and the trauma in order to move in more expansiveness, more beauty, more joy, right? That's what the laws teach us. But how do we apply them? How would we go about applying these laws? How do we reach for them? We must get into our chakras because that's the energy that's going to recognize each other. The laws of the universe, whatever energy that is, because everything is energy, right? Oh, I told you I'd tell you the other 5. That reminds me. The other 5 are compensation, action, correspondence, oneness, and vibration. So how do you are they just there? Are they concepts? Or are they really something that we can work with? There are really something we can work with. So let's talk about the root chakra. Also in Sanskrit, it's known as the Muladhara. It's the root chakra, the color red. All right. And it's associated with the foundational aspects of survival, stability, safety, and grounding. Several universal laws can be seen as correlating with the root due to the focus on the physical world, balance, and security. Now, very obvious law we didn't name, but this is also a law of just science even, which is a law of gravity. Now, the root is deeply connected to the physical body, deeply connected, because this Muladhara, it spins and it creates your first aura layer. And as a medical intuitive, when I look at people's aura layer, it really gives me an idea of what's going on with their physical body. Now, of course, the pattern, the program sits in the chakra, but the pictures sit on the aura layer, or let's say the energy of it, the energy of the pattern. And then we attract in and we magnetize these experiences that are at our root, or that we are focusing on, or that sometimes we don't even realize we have could be past lives, it could be ancestral genetic. Nevertheless, the aura layer, the first chakra spins, creates that aura layer around your physical body. We are divine souls having a human experience. So us being in our bodies, rooting and grounding, is an important part of our soul being able to integrate into the body in order for us to move forward. If our soul, our spirit, our mind, our emotions are out of sync, it causes a immobilization of our energy. And it's very difficult to then align with the laws of the universe. So if you feel yourself stuck in some aspect of your life, even if it's financially, how are you going to get better? You can get better and you'll notice, I'm going to take action. But if the foundation isn't there, meaning that energy is not within you, it is difficult to maintain. So once you understand what this is all about, your chakras and the laws of the universe, you can then maintain that vibration and frequency that's going to bring in the things that you want, right? Or the things that you require. A balanced chakra grounds us in reality, the balanced root chakra, and it promotes a sense of stability and security. So action always, always, always is important. But how do you sustain that action? Of course, cracking the whip every day, paycheck, different things. But if you want some self-guidance, working with the chakras is a great way to which gravity, staying in your body, grounding, that is gravity. I need to stay in my body instead of daydreaming or going out and remembering something from the past. Ground your energy. The law of vibration. Now we know that everything in the universe is energy vibrating at different frequencies. That's why it's not easy to change as we've been cloaked, meaning those laws, rules, the magic that was in our society in the past that allowed us to align with these amazing qualities that we have in our brain and our body, suppressed. So with that being said, the root chakra, it resonates with denser and slower vibrations of the material world. And this law reminds us that our physical bodies and basic needs are part of the universal vibration. Basically, if you're here, you deserve to be here. You, just on the basis of you being born, deserve a place to live, love, an education, and to be safe. But our society is perverted, and now everybody has to earn that. That is absolutely upside down. And so moving into a society, I'm vibrating differently in that we can create a vibration and a momentum that can transcend all of this crack the whip BS. All right? That's just if we can just get into the zone of realizing that we are worthy and deserving of these things, lack and limitation can resolve and dissolve itself. Okay, so importance of aligning this energy or meditating on the law of vibration, maybe vibrating, your cells or whatever, and sitting in that first chakra as you connect with the law of vibration, really understanding what that is, deep diving into it, and then sitting there and then visualizing what it is that you want to create in your life. That is magic sauce. Sitting in your chakra, your root chakra, meditating on the law of attraction or the law of vibration, bringing it into your cells, corresponding with it, listening to what it has to say. As you breathe with the rhythm of your body and you vibrate and you look at, like, let's say you want to go on a trip. Let's vibrate with the energy of that ley line or the ocean that's near there or that part of land. So you see it in your mind's eye in living color and you see yourself there. Now you don't see it outside of yourself like a video. You are living it. You are in the water. You're not seeing anything but your hands, your feet, and what's outside of you. As you swim with the fishes and you snorkel and you run up off of the sand and you go by the fire pit and you lay down and you sip on your, okay, you see, now you have this visualization. and you hold that, and okay, frequency and vibration. So as you maintain that visualization, you start to resonate and you start to vibrate with it. And the more that you practice this visualization, this alignment, the closer you get to it. That's kind of the law of vibration and how to use it in a meditation. Now, the next one is the law of attraction. All of these, the way that the steps that I just did for a meditation, it works for all of them. The steps are: you ground your energy, you pull your aura in, higher self above you, astral body snapped in, the basics. You run energy, 15% earth energy, 85% cosmic gold. You clean out your energy, purging anything you're ready to let go of and release. Down your grounding cord, filling up with gold, so much so all of this energy starts to expand out into your aura layer. Then your nervous system starts to light up, and you visualize that pushing out into your aura layer, lighting up your electromagnetic field, right? And now you guide it and you say, I want you to resonate with this energy. So then we get to the law of attraction. And since the Muladhara governs survival, which includes the ability to manifest and attract what we need for physical sustenance, it definitely aligns with the law of attraction. So lack and limitation is a big deal. It is a big deal. If you feel that, and especially if you live around people like that hide food or that are so afraid of like not having things, it can create an environment around you where you can really feel the lack, or the worry starts to infiltrate the brain. When that happens, remember who you are. You are a being of light and blessings, and we attract what we focus on. So it can be a useful principle when dealing with the root chakra imbalances like fear and scarcity. So if you're going to focus on the worry, if you're going to focus on the lack, you're going to get more of it. So although you may presently be in a moment of lack, the best thing to do, along with action, strategic action, is to see yourself at the finish line, to see yourself with success, with prosperity, being able to go in the store and buy the things that you want, being able to look at your bank account and go to sleep at night. It's important that this become a thought that goes into the cell, and then you start speaking this way of life into existence. Oh my God, it's too rich for my blood. What you are doing is you're telling the universe, you know what? I'm beneath that. I don't deserve that. So you know what? Don't bring it to me. Honey, let go of that and be like, I am worthy and deserving of it all, universe. Bring it on. Bring me my trip. Bring me my good. Bring me my bank account. And also allow for me to have the humility and the selflessness to involve other people in this and be useful so that I can help them have the things that they want in their life. I'm really passionate about helping people connect with themselves, because guess what? No one was passionate doing that for me when I needed it, right? Lori Lamson was very passionate. Judy Nelson was very passionate. And a lot of women came to my aid, but I first had to seek it out. And once I found them, let me tell you, my life opened up. And if you are a woman, chef's kiss to all of you powerful, beautiful women out there who are helping others. We as women, we really need to come together and help one another. All this other energy of envy, jealousy, whatever it may be, let's let that go. Let's tone down that masculine energy of competition and of comparison. And let's just come together and work with each other, because we really know how to get things done. The feminine energy, when it's not being blocked by masculinity and toxic abuse, really knows how to get things done. So just leave us to our own devices, So ladies, let's just get together. And oftentimes we women are so compassionate and we're so generous and giving, also male energy too. But reach out to women, reach out to your fellow sister, and especially if your energy resonates, because trust me, there's nothing like having good girlfriends that have your back and that are there to pray for you and hold the space. There's a law of cause and effect. Karma, right? Chakras, karma. So the root chakra is about action and survival in the physical world. And the law of cause and effect states every action has a consequence. When this chakra is in balance, we act in awareness of how our decisions and choices affect our well-being. Imbalances and deficiencies in these chakras manifest as feelings of instability, and it's also reflecting unresolved karmic patterns. So that's just a nice way of saying that you inherited some behaviors and some energies that you might want to take a look at and say, I don't want this anymore. Especially if you have a parental unit or a mate that there's something that's irritating you about them. You may have it. If you spot it, you got it. So why don't you work on it within you first, or we work on it within us first? And then that way we can diffuse those triggers and that person can go about their own devices. And what we do is we set a hard boundary and then we just adjust. That way it doesn't have to be all this emotional upset with the relationship or the situation, especially when it deals with our parents. Our parents did the best that they could for most part, and they deserve our love and respect, period. Like whatever they did, it's yours now. You heal it. Don't go to your mom and say, Mom, you did this. You know what? Let moms live her life. She's lived. She's old enough. The thing you need to be bringing to your mother is love, compassion, flowers, and goodness. That's it. Pops, same thing. They did the best that they could with what they had. You don't even understand what they had to go through with their parents, and their parents had to go through with their parents, and the life they had to live. So lay off of your parents. Give them a break and work on your own issues yourself so that you can then be you can heal your family line. You can break generational curses. I know my parents set in their ways. Pops, rest in peace. Moms, she is who she is, the most beautiful queen walking the face of the earth. We should all be kissing the ground as she steps to the next step. That's how I feel about my mother. Like can do no wrong, period. That's it. And I want all of you to understand that about your parents. They are great. Parents are amazing. I am not talking about crackhead parents. Okay, let's make that clear. All right, the next law is the law of correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. And the root chakra's connection to the physical, such as our bodies and the world, reflects this principle, right? Stable and healthy foundations, when we create those, a stable, secure environment is created outside of us. When we start to create a really comfortable space in our bodies where our soul wants to stay in it, and it doesn't want to go out and do whatever and have you out here. Like when your higher self and your soul leaves your body, I don't mean you die, but sometimes those parts of our soul architecture, you're not paying attention to me, you're not using me, so I don't need to be here. So then you wind up having all this cognitive dissonance, you're making bad choices for yourself, you're self-sabotaging. Why? Because those components of your soul architecture are not there. So now you're just out here rogue, behaving in ways that are just sabotaging your future and your well-being. I know, right here, baby. That's why the chakras were so important to me. I tried everything else, therapy, doctors, you name it, I tried it. And it wasn't until somebody said, girl, you better take responsibility for you and your own spiritual energy, and I'll point you in the direction. And I seized that. And it wasn't until I got my spiritual, emotional life in order that then my physical life began to look good. Now, I know most people are like, I can't do that. I have bills to pay. I have things. I get that. I get that. Most of the time it's backwards. Our physical life, our bills, are the fact that we need food, shelter, clothing. We have children. Don't you see? It's all backwards. As humans on this earth, it's been written into all of these founding documents, as well as the Bible and many other things, that once you get here, food, shelter, clothing, education, that should not even be a luxury. That should be a given. And since that's not even stable in our environment is completely unstable. And we see that everywhere we turn. Our young children are suffering from disease and illness, not just physically, but emotionally. You say to someone, oh my God, what a beautiful cat. And they're like, you're a dog discriminator. What about the dogs? You don't like dogs? You're a dog hater. Oh my God, I just said I like cats. How did you get... We're getting real weird out here. So by working with our chakras, by dealing with our own energy, our own triggers, looking at what makes us go ham, or off, gets us off balance. That's on you. That's on me. That's not on everybody else. So take care of your business. I'm angry, right? If I say that and I get into a situation. Now I can blurt out some things and self-sabotage and burn bridges, or I can take a minute and breathe, ground my energy, aura in, higher self above me. Let me get my words in order. That takes maybe 5 or 10 seconds for you to say, hold on, you're violating my boundary here. Remember when I said ... Okay, now here we are. Instead of going, mother, right? And now you've done some things and this person's like, wow, I've never seen that side of you. Wow, thank you for showing me your true colors. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Now you've lost an opportunity. You've lost some expansiveness in your life. Yes, certain people need to go away, but in some cases, we sabotage ourselves because we don't know how to deal with our emotions. It's kind of a bummer. So sit down, work with your chakras, do your research, look at the ways in which you're sabotaging yourself and reacting, and take ownership and responsibility and say, you know what, I don't really want to act like that anymore. I don't want to be seen as a pariah. And that was very powerful to me. Why I sit and do these videos was because I worked great jobs, but I didn't know how to maintain that. I did not have any control over my frequency, my vibrations, my actions. I felt so out of control in that environment. And it wasn't until I took these actionable steps of working with my chakras and really sitting in my own energy and detaching from the outside world and unpacking some of the ways in which I was effing up my life and my physical body. I had to take a step back and readjust, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I just want you guys to know, no matter where you're at a great place to begin. If you want to change your life, ask for support, but begin to work with your chakras and take responsibility over the fact, tell yourself the truth. I don't like this and I want it to change. And those words right there, the universe will mobilize to your highest good and help you. But once you notice that and say, I don't like the way my life is going, I want something better, then that's what you reach for. That's what is to be focused on, talked about, and immerse yourself in that. And I'm just grateful to be here. All the time when I make these videos, I smile and I feel so much joy because this is what I was meant to do. Not only to be a teacher, but to be useful in helping people gain a skill set in real time to deal with their strong emotions so that we stop self-sabotaging and creating a world where there's war and there's racism and there's sexism and there's all this perverted energy propagating throughout our society, and it's contaminating us physically, mentally, and emotionally. So let's purge it by first working with our own toxic energy and then being an example for others. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.